everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Me and a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and guys, this is episode 94. And listen, if you were looking on the internet for some weird midget porn and you accidentally came across this podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, maybe I can convince you to be one. This week's episode, guys, is stacked, and it's just me today. There's no guest. We'll go over some movie news, some trailers that dropped, and of course, I'm going to do my review of Transporter Refueled, and my tribute to Wes Craven, who has influenced my horror watching abilities ever since I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. So we'll get to that a little bit later, and of course, the box office results for the weekend. So let's get this started, guys. Episode 94, like I said, wow, six more, man, and we're going to hit that 100, and I'm just going to be like, I don't know why I did this long. I just wanted to do it as like a test thing for a couple weeks, and it turned out it's almost 2 years of doing this because I love you all. I love you guys. So let's get this started. The first piece of news is that this is an interesting one. Selena Gomez, little Selena G, Ms. Gomez. She's going to be in Neighbors 2. Now, I haven't really seen her in much, to be honest with you. The only movie I ever saw her in was Spring Breakers, and that was a horrible piece of fucking shit. I don't want to ever see that movie again. But in the movie, she had, some acting chops to where I was like, you know what? I think she's got this. I think she can make something of herself if she keeps pushing herself and doing these type of weird, dramatic movies, I guess. But her being in a comedy, she's going the Zac Efron route, where we don't really know what she's good at, so she's going to tackle comedy, and we're going to see if she can actually do it. So her being in Neighbors 2, well, first of all, the Neighbors 2 title is supposed to be Neighbors 2 Sorority Uprising, which is a very fun title. But she's going to be in this. Chloe Grace Moretz, and then, of course, Zac Efron and Seth Rogen are coming back. I think Dave Franco is also coming back. But her being in Neighbors 2, sure, I'll buy it. I'm curious to see what she can do. And who knows, maybe she'll surprise us like Zac Efron did. And she'll start saying, fuck, shit, dick, and piss balls. And then we'll be like, hey, Selena, you're pretty funny. So we don't know, but we'll find out when she's in Neighbors 2, Sorority Uprising. So that's the first piece of news, guys. The second piece of news is that Vincent Cassel, he's a well-known actor over in, I'm going to try to get this right. I think it's France. Hold on. I don't want to sound ignorant. Just ignorant, guys. Ignorant. Yeah. France, I believe. Yeah. Born Paris, France. I don't know why I question myself, but I'm terrible at, like, geography. So, like, I knew he was from Europe. I just didn't know if it was France or not. But I should have assumed because I've seen him in a lot more French films than anything. Anyways, he was in Black Swan. He played the instructor that Natalie Portman went to, and he was pretty creepy. And then, of course, he's in one of my favorites, Irreversible. I definitely butchered that, so don't judge me on that. But if you guys have not seen Irreversible, it's basically the course of one night, and it's just certain events that happen, but it's told backwards. So it actually shows you the end of the movie and the end of these characters' journeys, and then it at the end of the movie is the beginning of it. So it's actually really powerful, and it stars, Monica Bellucci or whatever. I gotta tell you, Monica Bellucci, she, I'm probably mispronouncing that. I think it's, I don't know. Anyways, she's extremely attractive, and when I heard that Vincent was married to her, I was like, Vincent, you're like the luckiest son of a bitch alive. She is just absolutely gorgeous. But she's actually a really great actress too. If you've not seen Irreversible, watch that. It's a powerful fucking performance, and Vincent in there is just as good. Anyways, just to give you a little backstory on Vincent Cassel, if you've never heard of him, he's really good actor. I'm sure he's more well known in France than he is here. We should probably change that. Anyways, he's gonna play the villain in the next Bourne movie. How fucking awesome is that? Vincent has the face to where, like, if he were at a party and you just saw him in the corner, you go, that guy's probably going to roofie someone. He's probably going to do some dangerous things at this party. I mean, he looks like he has that like evil face to where like he can play a villain just like that. There's no hesitation. So him being in a Bourne movie just makes me want to see Bourne, the fifth Bourne movie even more. I didn't see the Bourne Legacy, and I saw the first one like a long time ago, and I own the third one. I know I'm like really scattered in that franchise, but if he's playing the villain, I am totally on board for Bourne 5 now. And plus, Tommy Lee Jones is going to be in it too. So, wow, they're getting some really good people for the fifth Bourne movie. So I'm super excited. So if you guys have not seen Vincent Cassel's work, watch Black Swan. That's probably the best introduction to him. And then, you know, if you want to venture out into some really graphic stuff, you know, Irreversible is the one for you because that one is it's pretty hard to sit through. But it's a really great film, though. So Vincent Cassel going to be in Bourne 5. I'm totally on board, especially as a hardcore film movie nerd that's been following this guy for years. I'm just like, I want him to break through in America. I just got to find that role. I think this might be it where, you know, if he's really good in this, he's really creepy and just satisfying as a villain, I think we'll see more of him in these types of roles and stuff, which is awesome with me. The next piece of news is that Josh Gad, you know, a good old midget snowman Olaf in Frozen, he's going to play Roger Ebert in a film called, what is it called? Russ and Roger. Sorry, I have it written down, but it's like in paragraph form, and I have terrible handwriting, so it says a lot about me. Yeah, anyways, Russ and Roger is the story of Russ Meyer and Roger Ebert as they made the movie Beyond the Valley of the Dolls back in the 70s. And Russ Meyer is a filmmaker. Roger Ebert is the acclaimed film critic and stuff. He's probably the most famous film critic of all time. So Josh Gad is going to play Roger Ebert, and Will Ferrell is actually going to play Russ Meyer. Here's the deal. This could go one or two ways. I don't know if they're going to go full blown out Boogie Nights comedy with this, or are they going to go more of like a more dramatic biopic esque movie? And there's no I'm not saying that there's not going to be comedy period in it, but you know, is it going to be one of those raunchy comedies, or is it going to be more of like an Oscar type movie? Because this is like a really interesting story of Roger Ebert, you know, making movies, because he actually did that. He wrote several movies back in the day, and if you watch the documentary Life Itself, which is a very beautiful documentary, Roger Ebert was a freak, man. He was actually really raunchy off camera and stuff, so he was really into like these sex comedies and stuff, and that's kind of what Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is. Is that what it? Yeah, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. So I can see this going one or two ways. I'm hoping it's like a Boogie Nights situation, because it sounds like it's going to be like that. But then I don't know who's directing it. I don't know who's writing it. And then they could get the worst fucking director that like directed like the last $5 Walmart bin movie, and he wants to make it into like a raunchy comedy with like the movie opening up with a dick joke and ending with a poop joke. So I don't know how it's going to go. If they make it like an Oscar-related movie, dude, I'm totally on board for this shit. Are you kidding me? Like, I like Josh Gad. I think he's very talented. And I really liked him in Jobs, the one where he plays Steve Wozniak in the Ashton Kutcher version of Steve Jobs. So, I mean, he's got potential, and I really want to see what he can do with his career, because let's face it, the most popular thing he's done so far is playing Olaf in Frozen. That's cool, and he was also in the Broadway musical The Book of Mormon, which I heard got many Tony Awards and stuff, and I really wanted to see it because I'm a huge fan of Trey Parker and Matt Stone and just South Park in general, and I wanted to see what they could do with the musical, but I heard he was really great in that musical. So I'm excited to see what this is, because if it is like a straight-up Oscar drama, we're getting like two comedic actors doing two dramatic roles in a movie, which is insane. Because I've seen many different comedic actors take on dramatic roles, but they're really just by themselves. Having two people in a dramatic Oscar-type movie is intriguing. And this story is really intriguing, too. So I think this story is ripe with material. I think you can do a lot of good things with it. I hope it's like an Oscar-type movie. Like I said, I'm picturing like a Boogie Nights situation where, It's about the film industry. Well, it's not really about the porn industry, but it is like a raunchy comedy and stuff. It's a sex comedy. So I'm picturing Boogie Nights. So please make that happen. Make that fucking happen, and you'll make me happy. You'll probably make a bunch of other people happy too. So that's that piece of news. And the last piece of news, a shit. Cate Blanchett. She's really, really, really talented. I've only seen her in a few things, but the last thing I saw her in was Blue Jasmine. I really loved that movie, and I loved her performance in it. It has come to my attention that there's never been a biopic made about Lucille Ball. Why? This woman changed the industry with sitcoms, with comedy in general, with women taking a hold of a sitcom and leading it. She's very influential. She's a very funny human being. And I've seen several episodes of I Love Lucy, and it's actually a really funny show, and it still holds up to this day with issues that still kind of plague our society today, unfortunately. And so I'm astounded that there's never been a biopic made about this woman. Cate Blanchett is going to play this woman. Cate Blanchett is going to play Lucille Ball in Lucille Ball's biopic. I know, just calm down. That's not the best part. That's like the cake. Here's the icing on top of the cake. Apparently, it's going to be written by Aaron motherfucking Sorkin. The guy that wrote The Social Network is the lead writer on The Newsroom, The West Wing. This guy is a fantastic writer. The fact that he's going to write the Lucille Ball biopic with Cate Blanchett starring Lucille Ball is almost an unfair advantage. When this movie comes out, you'll see a nomination for Cate Blanchett for Best Actress. You'll see a I don't know, is it going to be adapted? I don't know. I didn't read too much into it, but I don't know if it's going to be adapted from a Lucille Ball book or whatever. But Aaron Sorkin will probably be nominated for screenplay in either adapted or original. This is going to be a good one, folks. And if they get a really talented director, game over, man. That actually might win Best Picture. So just this news alone gets me excited. So, excuse me, guys. Lucille Ball, I cannot believe there's never been a movie made about this woman. And we're finally going to get one. Written by Aaron Sorkin, starring Cate Blanchett. That's so fucking awesome. Oh, I cannot wait to see even the trailer for it, or even the first photo of Cate Blanchett as Lucille Ball. It's going to be astounding to look at, so I cannot wait for this. So that's it for the news, guys. If you have any comments or questions about the news, comment in the place below on my face, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you want to troll me, that's fucking fine. I'll fight back. It's okay, but I'll still be your friend. So let's get into the trailers, because there's a lot that came out. 1, 2, 3, 7 of them. Dear Lord. All right, so let's start with the one that has already had a trailer come out, but this is the second trailer, and it's Knock Knock. It's the, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. There's 2 hot girls, and, they just come to my door. And I don't want to have sex with them, but, they're getting all soapy and stuff in the shower, and I'm going to totally just fucking do it. I'm talking about Knock Knock. This one starring Keanu Reeves, and he plays a family man. 2 women come to the house on a stormy night, and they dry their clothes off, and they end up having a threesome. And this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. Keanu Reeves' family is gone, and basically Keanu Reeves gets tortured and stuff. It looks awesome. I'm so glad that we're getting 2 Eli Roth movies this year. And I know that's really weird to say because a lot of people dislike Eli Roth, with a passion. I think he's a very talented horror filmmaker. He's very B-movie oriented, which I totally respect him because that's what he's best at. Cabin Fever is still my favorite one he's ever done. Hostel was okay. I actually like Hostel 2 more because it focuses on the buyers instead of the victims. And he's coming out with the Green Inferno this year, which is like Cannibal Holocaust on steroids. So then we have Knock Knock coming out. And they're literally coming out within, I think, a month of each other. It's going to be insane. We get 2 Eli Roth movies this year. But Knock Knock, like I said, it's a home invasion movie. These 2 girls that basically seduce Keanu Reeves, and he ends up having sex with them. I believe that the trailer is only showing us a glimpse of the movie. I believe there's way more to this movie than it's leading on. I think it's just showing these trailers with the threesome and stuff, getting people to go see it. And I think it's going to twist it on its head, and I think it's going to really give us something special and something unique to the home invasion genre. At least that's what I suspect, because, like I say, Eli Roth is the type of filmmaker that takes something, he jacks it up to the extreme, whether he makes it more gory or he flips it on its head and changes the story path to what we're primarily used to with that genre. So I'm super excited to see Knock Knock. It looks really great. So that was the second trailer. The second trailer was actually better than the first one. I like the first trailer, so I'm excited to see Knock Knock. The next trailer I want to talk about is Pay the Ghost. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck is this? I have to look it up because it stars Nicolas Cage, and basically a professor frantically searches for his son who was abducted during a Halloween parade. Listen, Nicolas Cage is one of these actors where he's entertaining to watch. And every movie he does, I'm just super excited for. Pay the Ghost is so funny because the movie starts out, or the trailer starts out with him and his son. They're at a parade. He's literally holding his kid's hand. He looks away for 1 second, looks down, and he's like, "Son, where'd you go, son?" So it's hilarious. And then they're on this like paranormal adventure, and it looks so hilarious, but in all the wrong ways possible. So a paranormal movie with Nicolas Cage. He loses his son in a crowd while he's holding his hand. Should be fun. Should be a good time. So watch it if you like Nicolas Cage, because it actually looks pretty funny. The next trailer I want to talk about is The Imminent Threat. This is actually a documentary. I don't talk about documentaries much on this channel. There's not really many pop up to talk about, but this one is a look on the war of terror and the threats it's causing with, civil liberties and like political discussion and stuff. So basically war and how it's really affected our privacy as human beings and just government control and stuff. It looks really fascinating. I think it looks really good. I'm a huge fan of documentaries. Just to name a few in my collection, I have Fuck. That's the actual title of it. It's actually a documentary on the word and how it offends so many people and how it has so many meanings and stuff, and it's just a word and all that stuff. It's really fascinating. This film is not yet rated. It's one of my favorite ones done by Kirby Dick. He's actually a really good documentarian. Like, watch The Hunting Ground and you'll just feel sick to your stomach as a human being because we're pieces of shit. And then Super Size Me. I love that one. I've seen that one so many times. I love Morgan Spurlock's personality and stuff. And because that's the one where he eats McDonald's for 30 days straight. It's really fascinating to watch, like on the obesity pandemic of the country. But anyways, The Imminent Threat looks really good. It looks like it's focusing, like the trailer shows a lot. It focuses on Bush, Obama, the war in Iraq, Edward Snowden, the NSA. Like, it focuses on a lot of stuff. So it looks like it's going to be really intriguing and rich with material. I'm super excited to see that one. I'll catch it if it hits theaters. I'm sure it will. I have a couple of independent theaters in Dallas, so hopefully they pick it up. The next one I'm going to talk about is The Lobster. I have to talk about this one. If you guys have been watching this show for a long time, you guys know I had Eli Hayes on my show, and we talked about his adventures in Cannes this year, the Cannes Film Festival, and he talked about The Lobster. Now, this is no joke. This is the actual. I had to pull this up because it's so unique and so weird. I fucking love it. Let me pull up here's the exact summary for it. I am not making this up. In a dystopian near future, single people, according to the laws of the city, are taken to the hotel, where they are obliged to find a romantic partner in 45 days or are transformed into beasts and sent off into the woods. So basically, if you are single, you have to find someone to be with. And if not, you request the animal that you want to be turned into, and then you're just released into the woods. You can't tell me that's like not one of the most bonkers, unique ideas that you've heard in quite some time. It sounds incredible. And I've heard really great things from Cannes and stuff. I've heard it's really funny, and it's just really just unique and intriguing. Colin Farrell is in this, and he is single, and he requests to be turned into a lobster. That's why it's called Lobster if he does not find someone. So that's really all I know, is because it's only a teaser. It's shot well. It looks like the actors are on board with this crazy idea. It looks like a fresh, unique idea. I'm totally sold on it. The Lobster. really praiseworthy from Cannes. So check out The Lobster if you are looking for a really weird, unique, independent film that you are just itching to watch. So The Lobster. The next one I want to talk about is the actual trailer for Beast of No Nation. I think I reported on it last week. No, it wasn't last week because I didn't have any news last week. 2 weeks ago, Beast of No Nation had its teaser trailer, and it was just like a minute and a half, and it was basically Idris Elba telling this kid to go kill someone so he can be part of the army or whatever. This one's like a full-blown trailer, and it's just an extended look at, to the first trailer. And I'm looking forward to this thing. I don't know if I'm actually going to go to the theater and watch it or actually go or watch it on my Netflix account, because this is the first movie to release on Netflix and theaters at the same time. I'm telling you, it's going to change the fucking game, folks. This thing is going to hit really big on Netflix, and movie studios are going to want to do this from now on. So just I'm calling it right now. So, but it looks really great. It's written and directed by Cary Fukunaga. I probably just butchered that. Fukunaga? Holy shit. I forgot his last name. Anyways, it's something like that. He's the director of the first season of True Detective, which is one of the best 8 hours of television you will ever watch, period, in your life. And so this one looks really good. Beast of No Nation, like I said, it's an extended look from the first trailer. It's just shot well. It looks like it's going to be acted well from Idris Elba. It just looks so good. There's really nothing more I can say about it. We have 2 more trailers to get through, guys. The second trailer the second to last one I want to talk about is Concussion. And this is the Will Smith movie where he plays the doctor back in the day that told the NFL, hey, there's shit happening to these players' heads, and it's a disease. It's something that they can get, and it's going to really fuck up their life. And that would be the concussion. So Will Smith plays... let me look it up so I don't look like an ass. This is the cool thing about doing this live, folks. I can look it up. Let's see. Okay, Will Smith is in this, like I said, and he plays Dr. Bennett Amalu. This person is from, I believe, South Africa, and Will Smith actually has a South African accent. And it sounds good. Like, he sounds really good. It sounds like he's really committing to the role. And it sounds like this movie is going to be really intriguing because they're really dogging on the NFL in this movie. And rightfully so. When you have a doctor that says, hey, there's some shit happening to these players' heads, you should probably take a look at it. You should probably fucking listen to him because he's a fucking doctor. And so it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be Will Smith back to his dramatic form. I haven't seen him in a good dramatic role since I Am Legend. I know people are just like, that one? The dog scene always gets me. Fucking dog scene, man. It's just like, why? Fucking why? Why do you gotta do that shit? So I haven't seen him in a dramatic role in a very, very long time. This one looks like he could be nominated for an Oscar. It looks like that type of film. And the story's intriguing. I love these types of movies where, like, something is discovered and they want to try to keep it a secret because they don't want to piss off a large organization with a lot of money and stuff. I love those types of stories. Concussion looks so awesome. And the NFL is probably super pissed right now. They will definitely not get Will Smith for any promotional advertising ever. Yeah, it shines a bad light on him, but a very truthful light. So, to keep it fair. And then the last trailer I want to talk about is the one that everyone is looking forward to. Well, film buffs, kind of, maybe. I don't know. It's called The Danish Girl, and it's directed by Tom Hooper, who directed Les Miserables, and he also directed The King's Speech, which won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor. It pretty much swept the awards in 2013. And so Tom Hooper's directing this one. Stars Eddie Redmayne, and he plays the first ever transgender. The first person ever to first male to actually go and have a procedure done to become a female. And the trailer, whew, damn, it's powerful, man. It's like a painting. Like every single, because the two people in the movie that Eddie Redmayne is playing and Alicia Vikander is playing, they're playing husband and wife. They're painters and stuff, and so this whole movie is like a fucking painting. Like every single frame, every single shot was was just lit well. It was shot well. There's good depth of field to it, a lot of color to it. Just looks so rich. And cinematography, it's very beautiful. But the story itself looks really good. Eddie Redmayne, I don't know, man. I'm going to go and call it right now. I think he's going to pull a Tom Hanks. I think he's going to win his second Oscar in a row. I think he's the front runner for this year, for sure. And, of course, I still haven't seen movies like Black Mass or Concussion, for that matter, or even The Revenant. So I have no idea how these other male performances are going to do. But, you know, shining light on the LGBT community is very prevalent right now in today's culture, especially this year alone. And I think, you know, Academy voters will vote for it because it is kind of a fresh issue in everyone's mind. And it shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to go on a side rant. I hate fucking people that judge other people for their sexual orientation or their wanting to be transgender or stuff. If they feel like a woman or if they feel like a man and they want to change themselves. I just don't understand where the hate comes from. You fucking asshole hardcore Christians that are just like, I'm just going to wake up and fucking hate today. There's 7 fucking billion people in the world. Why you gotta care about everyone? Just care about yourself, okay? You want to have your little religious beliefs and cry in the corner and rock back and forth in the field position and just cry every night because your life fucking sucks? Sure, go for it, okay? But don't fucking put your hate on other people. It's the same thing with gay marriage and Christians coming after them because, you know, gay marriage is going to turn into bestiality and stuff. Okay, so you're saying that 2 guys that just really love each other or 2 women that just really love each other as 2 human beings just that want to love each other, it's just going to turn into bestiality. Like, so are you saying that you want to go fuck a donkey? Is that what you're saying? Because 2 gay people got married? It's stupid. So stupid. Anyways, in that rant, that's for another video. But I just don't understand people's mindsets when it comes to transgender and stuff, why it's so abomination. Just fuck off. Like, go to your church and just go sit in the confessional and just bitch about your life because it obviously fucking sucks enough for you to hate on other people. Fucking assholes. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm passionate for people to just want to love other people. Like, I'm not gay, but I respect any gay couple out there because it's 2 people that found each other and they love each other. What's wrong with that? Nothing. So this one looks like it's going to focus on these issues, the transgender issue, and how people disapprove of it. But, you know, Eddie Redmayne's character really is passionate about who he really is and stuff, which is, it's very touching. And so it looks like it's going to be a really good movie. I cannot wait to see it. I believe it comes out in October, November, something like that. But, I mean, it's an Oscar season, so just look out for it. So that's it for the trailers, guys, for this week. If you have any comments or questions on the trailers I talked about, comment in the place for up on my face and let me know. So let's get into the 2 subjects of this podcast. I'm going to go ahead and start with the movie review first so I can end on the tribute because I really respect Wes Craven. Transporter Refueled. Oh, boy. You know, going into a press screening for this, and we saw it in IMAX, I was just thinking to myself, oh, man, I wonder how low I'm going to grade this. It's not going to be any higher than a C. Like, it's going to be like a C or D plus or an F. Like, it's going to be really bad. And I know it's terrible to go into movies like that, but the trailers looked awful. It didn't appeal to me at all, and I just don't like the fact that Jason Statham was replaced by Ed Skrein. Yeah, my thoughts were exactly correct. It's a terrible movie. And let me explain why. Let's start with the directing and the writing. Well, first of all, the writing is absolutely atrocious. Like, it's awful. Like, you know when you go see a bad movie, it has bad dialogue. At least you can laugh at the dialogue. Even the dialogue isn't even laughable here. It's just awful in general. It's just written very poorly. And some of the story elements just don't make any sense. And it's just like, why are you doing this right now? The writing's all over the place. But the directing, I don't know where to begin. Okay, let's start with the most glaring thing that kind of just made me really, really mad. At the very beginning of the movie, 1995, these people come up in this van and they start shooting people. And there's like, we run this town now. We run the prostitution ring. What up, fools? And so, and then literally 5 minutes later, we show the current time, 2015. of these people that shot these people, and then when the camera is focused on them, it flashes back to literally the scene we just saw 3 minutes ago, showing that, hey, it's this person that did this. And I was like, oh no, we're getting into some really terrible territory here. Like, this director is going to take us on the worst ride possible. From that moment on, it was just a mess. And the thing is, like, I know it's PG-13, but the action sequences were so boring and they were just so uninteresting and just, they weren't even creative. It's like, you have this freedom to do a new stunt or a new thing for the action genre, and it's just a very standard paint by the numbers action film with terrible sequences and terrible choreography that looked like it was the rehearsal take was the actual take for the movie. So the action is terrible, and the choreography is just lame and boring, and so that's another strike on the director. The third strike is that it's pretty much an extended Audi commercial. Every action sequence, we had to have him drive in his car, which is totally fine, but then we had to have it in slow-mo when he's doing a turn, and it's like with water behind him and stuff, and it's like, this is basically a fucking car commercial. It just so bad. So this is strike 3 on the directing. And then just overall, it just wasn't even interesting. It was actually a boring movie. Like, there was nothing new here. Nothing. And it's like, could you at least try something fucking different? I'm not saying you have to do the whole movie different. But do something unique where it's like, oh wow, I've really never seen that before in an action film. I respect that. None of that. Just a flat, boring mess. So the directing and the writing are absolutely the worst parts of this fucking movie. Let's get into the acting. I've never seen Ed Skrein's previous works. I heard he was in Game of Thrones. I don't watch that show. I will watch it one of these days, so calm down. But I just, I've never seen an episode. I've seen clips of certain things, but I've never seen a full episode. So they're already, on season 6? I'll just wait until they're finished with the series and I'll watch it all together. He was terrible. He had no charisma, and I didn't really care for him as Frank the Transporter or whatever. I saw the first Transporter with Jason Statham. I thought it was pretty good, pretty charming. Never saw 2 or 3, and I heard those were whatever. And then, of course, everyone else in the movie is awful. Everyone else in the movie they make that dialogue sound even worse than it actually is. The only redeemable actor in this film is Ray Stevenson, and he plays the Transporter's dad. And the one thing I will give credit for the writing and the directing, for what little worth it has, is that I did like the scenes between him, the Transporter, and his dad. I thought those were interesting, and I like the chemistry between Ray Stevenson and Ed Skrein. But other than that, this is as far as I can go with the acting and the story abilities with the director. So the acting all around is terrible. Ray Stevenson is probably my favorite. But everyone had no enthusiasm at all. It was just like, yes, I want to transport the package. The package is transported. Like, it's so weird and awkward. It was just boring and flat. I didn't like anyone. Like I said, Ray Stevenson was like the only one that looked like he was trying. So thank you. Cinematography wise, it was shot fine for the most part, and the action sequences were shot decently. But the problem is the slow-mo shit. Stop with that. It doesn't add anything. Like, they slow-mo way too many times. The other thing that really irritates me, unless you are a mockumentary or a documentary, when you are in a talking scene, do not have the camera on someone and then do that random fast zoom in, like if you're watching this podcast on video form, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, with my hands, it's just like, it's on the shot and then just does that like kind of quick zoom in jump or whatever. And it's supposed to add intensity and like grit and realism and no, it doesn't. It looks like you don't know what you're doing with the camera. Just stop that. I hate the fact that that's a trend nowadays in PG-13 action movies, or in some movies in general. But like literally, if they're in a talking scene and you're on someone and it does that quick little zoom in, and then it cuts to the next person and does also that quick zoom in, so it cuts after the zoom in, it's like it's just super jarring, and it kind of makes your head hurt. It's like, stop it. It doesn't add anything to it. You're just a lazy filmmaker. Just stop it. So that was one thing that pissed me off about the cinematography. The editing. This movie is an hour and a half long. It felt like 2. Not only is it boring and uninteresting and flat as shit, when it's all 3 of those things, you're not going to be interested, and you're also not going to want to be invested in this story to where it flies by. You're going to be sitting there going, well, fuck, I really want to go eat right now or just go home and lay in my bed. I'd rather do that. So the fact that I was not interested in the story or the characters or just anything about this movie, it felt longer than it should. It was a complete waste of time. Guys, listen, pass on this movie. If you're an action movie fan, don't see this. Go see Mad Max again. Go buy that on Blu-ray and go watch that again. This is just an uninspired, just flat, non-creative action film. It's just very bland and paid by the numbers. Nothing was added to this genre. It was just a throwaway type movie. I give it a D+. That's my score for The Transporter Refueled. I wouldn't even suggest this to the hardcore Transporter fans, if you guys are listening. So, Transporter Refueled, piece of fucking garbage. So, that's my review of that. And then now let's get into the more sad but uplifting type of news, and I'll explain why. Wes Craven. This is a prolific director, prolific filmmaker in the horror genre. This guy reinvented it twice with Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. Now, let me look up when they came out, but it's a cool thing about doing this live. I have all these dead moments where I look stupid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Or wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on now. No, not that one. Okay, so it did come after everything. What I was looking at my phone was the dates of all the slasher villains and stuff. And Freddy came after Michael Myers, which I knew for a fact because that Halloween came out in 78, I believe, or 79. And then I wasn't really sure about Friday the 13th, but that was 1980. Nightmare on Elm Street was in 84. So Freddy Krueger came after Jason Voorhees. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but Jason's not really the main focus in the first one. But, I mean, he's still there. And then Michael Myers came out before that. So even with those two established, I remember, like, asking a lot of people when I was growing up and stuff, like, who's your favorite slasher? A lot of people like Freddy Krueger a lot. And that movie came out after Halloween and Friday the 13th. So he pretty much reinvented the slasher genre with one of the most iconic slashers in the history of film. And then Scream comes along in 1996, and he completely flips on the horror genre on its head again and makes a really, really good spoof movie. Yeah. Did you guys know that Scream is a spoof movie? Sure as fuck is. It's pretty much he takes his slasher genre that he reinvented and turns it on its head and makes fun of it with all of its tropes and stuff. It's genius filmmaking. So he's reinvented it twice, and he's pretty much iconic. And why am I bringing up Wes Craven? Craven. If you guys don't know, he actually passed away earlier this week. Was it Saturday or no? Because I would have done the podcast last week. I think it was Sunday. I think he passed away Sunday or Monday. But I didn't know this, but he had brain cancer. And this is really sad to think about. But Wes Craven was one of those filmmakers when I was growing up to where he was one of the first directors of films that I saw. Like, my mom probably shouldn't have done this when I was a kid, but she introduced me to Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. And I really liked slasher films. I still do to this day. I have Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I have Halloween. there's something about slasher movies that just intrigue me. But I did like Freddy Krueger the best, and solely because he talks. Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees do not talk, and they're kind of there, and they have a strong, big presence, but they don't have witty one-liners or a sarcastic asshole attitude like Freddy Krueger does. And I remember as a kid watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was freaked the fuck out. It was a creepy movie as a kid. And it's very gory, and it's actually Johnny Depp's first movie. Did you also know that? So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, I still remember as a kid. It still haunts me to this day. I still love it. I still have it on DVD. And then Scream comes along. Scream might be my favorite one he's ever done. Because, like I said, it's a spoof movie without calling it a spoof movie. It is. It's a really fun movie. It's a really great slasher movie. And it's actually got one of the most iconic slashers again with Ghostface. So you want to talk about this guy, like, creates iconic characters. It's insane. But anyways, it's really sad that he's gone from us. But look, every time when an actor dies or a filmmaker dies or actress or whatever, I try to look at the positives, because Wes Craven was one of these positive people in my life, and his legacy will live on. It is very, very sad, and my thoughts go out to the friends and family of Wes Craven. But I like to celebrate it. I like to celebrate people's lives and stuff. And Wes Craven had a hell of a career, man. Regardless if you liked any of his movies or not, the guy, like, he pretty much knew the horror genre front and back. Like, this was the guy that, like I said, reinvented it twice. And I just remember watching Scream as a kid, and I really loved Scream. I actually liked Scream 1 and 2. I didn't really care for the third one. I actually really liked the fourth one, which he also directed. I thought the fourth one was, like, back to Scream form. I know a lot of people hated the fourth one, but I actually really enjoyed it. He's a very entertaining director. That's what I was going to get at. If you don't really like his movies so much, you cannot deny that the guy was entertaining in the horror genre. He just was. And I remember watching, what was the werewolf movie? Oh, Cursed. I remember seeing that in theaters, and it was actually written by the guy that did Scream, Kevin Williamson, and directed by Wes Craven. And I kind of like Cursed. It's actually a really interesting guilty pleasure. I don't think I sold it. Hopefully I didn't. If I did, then shame on me. I should probably go get that back. But yeah, I just remember growing up with Wes's movies and stuff. And even as a kid, when I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I remember when he had the cameo in there, actually recreating a horror movie within a movie. And he was really funny in that. And speaking of movie within a movie, I saw this once because I was really intrigued by it, because I love Freddy Krueger and I love Wes Craven. I saw Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And basically this is like the revitalization of Freddy Krueger, and it bombed at the box office. But when I watched it, that had to be one of the most interesting horror movies I've ever seen, because it's a movie within a movie. Freddy Krueger, played by Robert Englund plays himself. And then Freddy actually comes and, like, kills him and stuff. It's fucking crazy, man. It's a crazy ass movie. It's very underrated. Check that one out if you guys have not. Let's go and look up the rest of his filmography. I was just trying to think of the ones that I have actually seen. I think those were the only ones, I believe. Now, he came back to do Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Oh, he did My Soul to Take. I didn't really care for that one. It was fine. It wasn't like the worst thing I've seen, but it just wasn't up to like what I like about Wes Craven. He did Red Eye. I actually really liked Red Eye. That's the Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams movie where they're stuck on the plane and Cillian Murphy is like a creepy ass weirdo. So it's a pretty good one. Like I said, I like Curse as like a guilty pleasure. He did Scream 3, not my favorite one, but you know, he did it. And Scream 2, Scream, New Nightmare, awesome. People Under the Stairs, that's a very iconic one from what I hear. I have not seen that one. Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh yeah, I did The Hills Have Eyes. And The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. And I'm not talking about the 2005 reboot, I'm talking about the old school ones from the 80s. And I seen the old ones? I don't think I've seen the old ones, which kind of disgusts me because I need to. But I've seen the new ones. And I actually like the new ones. But I've seen clips from the old ones online and stuff, and it looks like it's really terrifying. Like the Hills of Eyes is basically these people get stuck in the desert and they're tortured by this like disformed family. It's really fucking creepy and really graphic. Oh, that's right. This is his first movie listed as director. He actually kind of not invented, but kind of revitalized the revenge genre with Last House on the Left. That came out in 1972, and basically these people get tortured and stalked by these people who are basically just kind of fucking with them, and it turns into a deadly situation. I actually really like the new one. I don't think I've seen the old one. But yeah, he pretty much like revitalized the revenge genre and then the slasher genre with Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the spoof genre with Scream, making fun of Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. Not directly, but you know what I mean, with like slashers and stuff. And then he did a meta movie with New Nightmare. He's done a werewolf movie and a vampire movie. The guy has like one of the best resumes of horror films ever, because they range from horror comedies to straight gore horror, or revenge horror, or vampire horror, werewolf. It's amazing what this guy has done, and I have to give my hat off to Wes Craven. Thank you, sir, for creating numerous movies that everyone will enjoy and still talk about to this day. People still talk about Freddy fucking Krueger, and they're trying to remake it, unfortunately, with a CGI Freddy. I don't know how that's going to fucking turn out. Ugh, God. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just continue to expose people to Wes Craven's works, because, I mean, like I said, I have Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a really fun slasher movie, but I gotta go Scream, baby. That's such an iconic film for me, because I remember when I was watching it, I was like, because I wasn't really processing as a spoof movie. It was just a really good horror film. And when I rewatched it when I got older and stuff, I understood, like, you know, meta and just horror comedy in general. I got it, man. And I was totally on board with it. So Scream might be my favorite, even though I haven't seen his older stuff. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is the oldest thing I've ever seen him do. Like I said, I need to see Hills Have Eyes Part 1 and 2 and The Last House on the Left. But I've seen the remakes and stuff. I just need to watch the older ones, so I know what the stories are. Yeah, rest in peace, Wes Craven. You, sir, have given us some really good gems, and you will be missed. It's pretty sad, man. Wes Craven's the type of level is like a Robin Williams, where, like, once it happened, I was like, fuck, man, this is disappointing. Like, I really wanted Wes to make one more. But I think the last one he made was Scream 4, which is great because Scream is my favorite one he's ever done. So he ended his career making a fourth one to, arguably the best one in my eyes. So that's awesome. I remember I told my brother, we saw Scream 4 together, and he really liked it. I think that was the first one he ever saw. So, Taylor, please watch the first three if you're listening to this. So, yeah, Wes Craven, rest in peace, sir. I really admire your movies. You really changed the genre multiple times. You reinvigorated it with your horror Viagra. So I really respect you, sir. Rest in peace. Wes Craven is one of the best. So, with that being said, what are some of your favorite Wes Craven movies? Or if you haven't seen any, I would say start out with Nightmare on Elm Street, his most popular, and then do Scream. Because I would say those are his two most prolific movies. So, yeah, what are some of your favorite Wes Craven movies? Comment in place for Up My Face and let me know. And if you are just as sad as I am that he has left us. But like I said, let's celebrate it and look back on all the good things he's done. I've mentioned a lot of them. Keep watching them and keep exposing more people to his work, because he has made a stamp in the horror genre. So, Wes Craven, I know I keep bringing it up, man, but you will be missed. You will. So, let's get into the box office results for the weekend with The Weekend. Oh, this is bad. Oh, shit. I just pulled it up for the first time, and I'm just now seeing these numbers. Wow. Oh my God. What's going on here, man? Okay. First of all, We Are Your Friends came in at 20th place, and it made $640,000 on its second weekend. So right now its total is $3 million. Woof, that sucks. So let's do the top 5. Number 5, Transporter Refueled was $7.13 million. The budget is unlisted, but worldwide it's made 17. I mean, because it is produced by Luc Besson, who owns Europa, and they do mainly films in Europe, and they release it here, so that doesn't surprise me that it's more popular overseas. Number 4, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation was $7.15 million. Right now, its domestic total, which is the U.S. and Canada, it's at $180 million. Worldwide, it's at $509. Good job. Its budget's $150, so double that for all the theater cuts and stuff. We're looking at $300 million just to break even. It made about $200 million on profit, and we're not even to the Blu-ray sales or the digital stream. So, whew, good job. I mean, it was one of my favorite movies of the summer. Number 3 is actually wow. Okay, so get this. The Transporter Refueled opened in 3,400 theaters. A Walk in the Woods came in at number 3 with $8.4 million. The theaters that it was in, 1,960. Wow. And it made that much over Transporter. And wow, that's insane. So anyways, A Walk in the Woods, $8.4 million. Domestically, so far, it's made $10 million because I think it opened on Wednesday. So good for it. It's a smaller film with Robert Redford and no theaters, he's walking in the woods. So that's lovely. Number 2. This movie got dethroned. Number 2, Straight Outta Compton with $8.8 million. Domestically, it's got 147. It's pretty damn good. And then worldwide, it's got 165 on a $28 million budget. It's 56 to break even. Whew! Made over $100 million profit on this movie. Fuck, man, that's a good job. And number 1, I cannot believe this is number 1. It's War Room, that religious-based movie that came out last week at number 2. It made $9.3 million. It's made $24 million so far on a $3 million budget. This movie came out number 1 with $9.3 million in less than half of what the Transporter Refueled theater count was. Transporter Refueled, like I said, 3,400. War Room, 1,500. Wow. But this was a shitty weekend overall, but still, man. I mean, the Transporter Refueled sucks, so I mean, it deserves that. But shit, that's just a huge difference. I did not expect War Room to outbeat Straight Outta Compton. Now, you're probably all thinking, well, Chase, it's Labor Day weekend. Are you going to count Monday? No, because I record these things on Sundays for you guys, and I do the weekend-only box office. So, when we get into Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, I don't count that shit. I count Friday through Sunday. I just do. I just believe it's just unfair because, well, first of all, I don't want to record on Monday, but Straight Outta Compton might edge out War Room in the Labor Day weekend, but as far as the weekend goes, War Room's number 1. So that's it for the box office results for the weekend, guys, and that will do it. Wrapping up on episode 94, we talked about Wes Craven and how he influenced the horror genre and the films that he's made, Transporter Refueled review, as well as news and trailers and stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of this crazy-ass podcast. If you'd like to follow me on Spreaker, you can click that follow button and get updates when I do these things live. I'm also on iHeartRadio, Twitter, it's at RealChaseLee. But everything will be in the link in the description below. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to listen to an audio-only version of this podcast and you don't want to see this ugly face, link will be in the description below for that. And if you're listening to this on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, or SoundCloud, and you want a video version of this podcast and you want to see me flail my arms around and shit like a fucking Muppet, hey, Kermit the Frog here, waka, waka, waka. Wow, I didn't think I could do a Fozzie Bear impression. If you want to see a video version, link will be in the description below for all the audio podcasts. And that will pretty much do it. Beginning music and ending music is done by my friend's band, Fervent Roze. You can check their music out. Their link will be in the description below as well. So I want to thank you guys for watching. How you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? Let me know how you're doing down below. Also, I realize that there's a lot of people that listen and watch they're not from the U.S. and stuff. And I want to know, where are you guys from? Where are you guys listening from? So comment, place a rub on my face, and let me know on any of the news stories and stuff and where you guys are from. I'm just curious because I love you all. I want to know where all my children are. So that will do it for this week's episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. I want you guys to have a good day, good night, or whenever the hell you're listening to this. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next week for another episode 95. It'll probably be over The Visit and maybe M. Night Shyamalan movies and stuff and where I'm going to rank them. That's actually a really good show. So I'll have my review of The Visit and my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies ranking from best to worst. So that will be on next week's show as well as the news and trailers. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. And if you are not a movie fan and you made it through this podcast, well, maybe I convinced you to be one. So I'm Chase Lee. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Let's play the outro music. Man, the transporter field sucks. So much donkey balls, man. So much. Oh, it's bad. I'll see you guys next week.